Once upon a time, in the lively city of Lagos, there lived a young, successful businessman named Obinna. In his early 30s, Obinna was the perfect blend of charm and ambition. He owned a thriving tech company, drove the latest cars, and lived in a luxurious penthouse overlooking the city's sparkling skyline. Despite his success, Obinna remained humble and believed in true love. He was deeply in love with Amara, a stunning and intelligent lady with a heart as pure as gold. Their love seemed like something out of a fairy tale. They were inseparable, often described by friends as the perfect couple. One breezy Saturday evening, Obinna and Amara decided to unwind after a busy week. Dressed to impress, they stepped out for a romantic dinner at one of Lagos' finest restaurants. The atmosphere was magical. Soft jazz played in the background while shimmering candles added warmth to their table. "Babe, you light up my world," Obinna said, his eyes sparkling with admiration. Amara giggled, gently squeezing his hand. "You know I'd choose you over and over again." Their laughter filled the room as they shared inside jokes only they could understand. After dinner, Obinna suggested they hit one of the hottest nightclubs in Lagos, Club Mirage, where the city's elite gathered to dance the night away. The club was electric. Neon lights flickered, and the bass from the speakers vibrated through the air. Amara, in her elegant black dress that hugged her perfectly, swayed effortlessly to the rhythm. Obinna couldn't take his eyes off her. "Let's make tonight unforgettable," he whispered into her ear, guiding her to the dance floor. They danced like no one was watching, lost in each other's world. Friends joined them, making the night even more exciting. Expensive drinks flowed, and laughter echoed. Obinna spared no cost to make Amara smile. But deep inside, a thoughtful look flashed briefly across Obinna's face as he watched her twirl under the club's dazzling lights. Life was perfect, or so it seemed, but destiny had something far more profound in store. Would love remain when life's music stopped playing? After the thrilling night at Club Mirage, Obinna and Amara returned home, still energized by the fun they had. They settled into the cozy living room of Obinna's luxurious penthouse. The city lights sparkled through the floor-to-ceiling windows, casting a soft glow across the room. "Tonight was magical," Amara said, curling up next to Obinna. "I told you we'd make unforgettable memories," he replied, planting a gentle kiss on her forehead. They talked late into the night, sharing stories, teasing each other, and laughing about funny moments from the party. Eventually, sleep claimed them as they drifted off in each other's arms, content and happy. The Lagos sun blazed brightly as Amara's phone buzzed on the bedside table. She reached for it, her heart skipping a beat when she saw it was her elder sister calling from the village. "Amara, Mama's health has worsened," her sister's voice trembled. "The doctor says we need 250,000 naira for her treatment." Amara felt her chest tighten. Her mother was her world, and the thought of her being in pain was unbearable. But she had only started her new job 3 weeks ago. There were no savings to rely on. Wiping her teary eyes, she turned to Obinna, who was sitting on the couch, scrolling through his phone. She hesitated but finally spoke up. "Obinna, I need your help." Her voice was shaky but earnest. He looked up, concern etched across his face. "What's wrong, my love?" She explained the situation, her voice breaking with emotion. Without a second thought, Obinna stood up, reached for his phone, and transferred the full amount. "It's done," he said, placing a reassuring hand on her shoulder. Amara gasped, overwhelmed by relief and gratitude. "Thank you so much, Obinna. I don't know what I would have done without you." "Family comes first," he said warmly. "I've got you always." At a rooftop lounge in Lagos, Obinna and his closest friends, Kelechi, Jide, and Tund, gathered for drinks and casual banter. The cool breeze carried the scent of grilled meat from a nearby barbecue. "Guy, you're really head over heels for Amara," Jide teased, raising his glass. "You didn't even blink before helping her." Kelechi smirked. "Hope she's genuine sha. These Lagos babes fit change when things go south." Obinna leaned back with a thoughtful expression. "That's the thing. You never truly know someone until life tests them." His words hung in the air like a prophecy yet to unfold. The rooftop breeze grew cooler as the conversation took a serious turn. Tun swirled his drink, his face clouded with a hint of sadness. 3 years? We were together for 3 good years, Tun began, his voice steady but reflective. When business became rough, she couldn't handle the pressure. She left me for a man with deeper pockets. Just like that, the group fell silent, absorbing his story. They knew how much Tun had loved her. Not all women are the same, Jide interjected. Maybe Amara is different. She seems genuine. Obinna straightened defensive. Amara isn't like that. She's loyal and caring. You guys don't know her like I do. Kalechi raised an eyebrow, leaning forward with a sly grin. Calm down, Oga Defender. Nobody is attacking her. But what if we test her loyalty? Obinna frowned. Test her? How? Pretend you lost your job, Kalechi suggested. Say your business is being investigated. See how she reacts when the money stops flowing. Obinna hesitated. He trusted Amara, but couldn't shake the idea from his mind. I don't know. It feels wrong. Better to know now than later, Tund added quietly. After a long pause, Obinna finally nodded. All right, let's see what she's really made of. The next morning, by 10 a.m., Obinna was already back home, something completely out of the ordinary. He usually worked late into the evening, managing high-profile projects and overseeing business deals. Amara, still in her comfortable loungewear, spotted him entering the house with a tense expression. She hurried over, concerned. Obinna, you're home early. Is everything okay? He sighed heavily, dropping his briefcase on the couch. I don't want to worry you, but things aren't good at work. Her eyes widened. What happened? There's an investigation. False allegations against the company. Contracts have been frozen. It's bad. Amara gasped, covering her mouth in shock. Oh my God! What does this mean? Are you in trouble? Obinna looked away, pretending to be burdened. I might lose everything. Amara's eyes widened with concern, but she quickly stepped closer, placing her hands gently on Obinna's shoulders. God forbid. You won't lose everything, she said firmly. This is just a phase. You'll come out stronger. Obinna looked into her eyes, surprised by her unwavering faith. Amara, what if things get worse? Even if they do, I'm here, she replied softly. We'll face it together. Her words melted his heart, though he kept his expression somber. The test had only just begun. As the sun dipped below the Lagos skyline, casting a golden glow across the city, Obinna sat quietly in the living room. Amara joined him, sensing the weight of the day on his shoulders. He hesitated before speaking. There's something else? Amara leaned in, alert. What is it? The authorities froze my accounts. All I have left is 20,000 naira in cash. Amara gasped softly. 20,000? He nodded slowly, eyes downcast. For a moment, silence filled the room. Obinna braced himself, expecting disappointment or frustration. Instead, Amara gently held his hand. We'll manage, she said with quiet determination. We'll cut down on expenses, and I'll support us however I can. Obinna was speechless. Days turned into weeks. Amara adjusted quickly, budgeting carefully and cooking modest but delicious meals. She never once complained or made Obinna feel less of a man. Her constant support astonished him, though he kept his emotions in check. One evening, Amara returned home from work, her face glowing with excitement. Babe, I got my first salary today, she announced cheerfully. Before Obinna could respond, she pulled out an envelope and handed it to him. Take it, all of it. He stared at her, stunned. Amara, this is your first pay? You've worked so hard for this, and I'm giving it to the man I love, she said simply. We're in this together. Obinna's throat tightened as he struggled to find words. He never expected this level of sacrifice. Days after receiving her first salary, Amara met up with her best friend, Chinyere, at a cozy outdoor cafe in Lagos. Chinyere, stylish and outspoken, noticed how worn out Amara looked and couldn't hold back her thoughts. Amara, why are you stressing yourself over Obinna? Chinyere scoffed, sipping her iced drink. The guy is finished. His accounts are frozen. He's broke. How long do you think you can manage like this? Amara frowned. Chinyere, Obinna is a good man. He's going through a rough patch, but I believe he'll bounce back. Chinyere rolled her eyes. Faith won't pay the bills, my dear. Look, you're young and beautiful. There are men out there who can take care of you. Secure the bag. You can keep Obinna as a second option in case the richer guy doesn't work out. Amara shook her head firmly. I'm not that kind of person. Think about your future, Chinyere pressed. Love doesn't fill empty plates. You deserve more. Amara defended Obinna passionately, but couldn't shake off the unsettling thoughts Chinyere planted. As she walked home, her mind wrestled with conflicting emotions. She loved Obinna, but was she being too hopeful? Obinna sat with his friends Kelechi, Jide, and Tund at a quiet lounge. After sharing how Amara had given him her entire first salary, Obinna expected supportive words. Instead, his friends exchanged doubtful glances. Guy, Kelechi began cautiously, are you sure she isn't playing the long game? What do you mean? Obinna frowned. Jide added, some women act supportive just to build a pity story. I was there when he had nothing, so when you rise again, she claims she made you. Be careful. Obinna felt uneasy. Could they be right? Or was he letting suspicion cloud his judgment? While preparing dinner, Amara's phone buzzed sharply. She wiped her hands and answered, her heart pounding when she heard her elder sister's panicked voice from the village. Amara, Mama collapsed again. The hospital says she needs urgent surgery. We need 500,000 naira or... The line went silent. Amara's breath hitched. 500,000 naira? Where on earth would she find that kind of money now? Desperate and restless, Amara called Chinyere, hoping her friend could lend her some money. They met at a high-end restaurant where Chinyere arrived in her usual flashy style, exuding confidence. Amara explained her mother's health crisis, her voice trembling. Please, Chinyere, I need 500,000 naira urgently. Anything you can spare will help. Chinyere sighed dramatically, flipping her long braids. Amara, 500K isn't small money. The best I can offer you is 100K. Amara felt a lump in her throat, but managed to mutter, Thank you. I'll take it. As she reached for the money, Chinyere grabbed her wrist. But listen, girl, how long will you keep suffering like this? Look at you, running around, begging for money because of Obinna's dead career. Do you think he'll ever recover? Amara's face hardened. Obinna is trying. He's just unlucky right now. Chinyere chuckled coldly. Luck? You're too loyal for your own good. You can do better. There are men out there willing to spoil you, no stress. Amara swallowed her pride, took the 100K, and left quickly. She didn't have time for arguments. Her mother needed her. Clutching the envelope tightly, Amara rushed down the busy Lagos street, focused on getting to the hospital. Suddenly, a sleek black SUV slowed down beside her. The tinted window rolled down, revealing a tall, handsome man dressed sharply in a tailored suit. Excuse me, miss, he called out with a charming smile. Amara barely glanced at him, her pace quickening. Wait, he persisted, parking the SUV and jogging toward her. I'm not trying to scare you. My name is Desmond. I've noticed you. You seem like someone special. I'm in a hurry, she replied coldly, brushing past him. Desmond, unfazed, followed her quietly until she reached the hospital. He watched as she approached the payment counter, her shoulders slumping after handing over the money. Is that all you have? Desmond asked gently, stepping forward. Amara turned sharply, surprised. Why are you still here? He held up his wallet. Let me help. Before she could protest, he settled the full hospital bill. The cashier stamped the receipt, and Amara stood frozen. Desmond extended the receipt toward her. Take it, he urged softly. I'm just helping. No strings attached. Reluctantly, she accepted it, her eyes misty with gratitude. Amara sat quietly at home, replaying the strange encounter. Her phone buzzed suddenly. It was an unknown number. She hesitated, then answered. Hello. It's Desmond, the guy from earlier. His deep voice came through the line. Amara stiffened. How did you get my number? You gave it to me at the hospital, he reminded her. I couldn't stop thinking about you. Thank you for helping, she said cautiously. I appreciate it. Don't thank me, Desmond replied smoothly. You deserve the best, Amara. Whatever you need, consider it done. His tone was intense, almost possessive. "I can give you the world. Heaven on earth." After the call with Desmond, Amara sat alone, her mind spinning with conflicting thoughts. Chinyer's words echoed in her head. "You deserve better. Obinna is finished." Desmond's promises lingered, tempting her with the ease and comfort she hadn't known for months. But then she thought about Obinna, his warmth, his dreams, and how he never gave up even when life knocked him down. Is Obinna truly finished, she wondered? Or is this just another storm we need to weather together? The next evening, Amara sat Obinna down, her voice steady but emotional. "There's something I need to tell you," she began, recounting the encounter with Desmond. How he paid her mother's hospital bills, how persistent he was, and how she almost got swayed by his charm. Obinna listened quietly, his face unreadable. "But I chose you," Amara said firmly. "I called Desmond again to thank him and told him I have a boyfriend. I blocked his number after that." Obinna's heart swelled with emotion. He reached for her hands. "Amara, you didn't have to tell me, but you did. Thank you for choosing us." Weeks passed, and life didn't get easier. Bills piled up, and food became scarce. Amara quietly took out a small loan from her office to buy groceries without telling Obinna. She wanted to shield him from more stress. When her next salary came, she handed every naira to Obinna, as she always did. It had become routine. Her earnings supported them both while he fought against the harsh realities of his. They lived humbly but held on to each other. Despite the endless struggles, Amara's faith never wavered. Her smile remained as radiant as ever. She still cooked, cleaned, and prayed for better days. She believed Obinna would rise again. One cold evening, Obinna sat quietly on their worn-out couch, lost in deep thought. His heart weighed heavy with everything Amara had done, her sacrifices, her unwavering loyalty. It was time to make a decision. One calm evening, after a simple dinner of rice and stew, Obinna held Amara's hands gently, his eyes shining with emotions he could no longer hide. "Amara, there's something I need to tell you," he began, his voice steady but filled with sincerity. Amara tilted her head, concerned. "Is something wrong?" Obinna smiled softly. "No, but I've been keeping something from you." He took a deep breath. "I never lost my job. My business was never in trouble." Amara's eyes widened in shock. "What do you mean?" Obinna continued. "Everything you went through is a test. I needed to know the real you." He explained how he overheard her phone call with her sister about their mother's hospital bill. Desperate to help without making it obvious, he contacted his wealthy friend Desmond. Desmond paid the bill. "And yes, I asked him to test your loyalty by asking you out," Obinna confessed. "I needed to know if you'd stick with me when things got rough, when there was nothing left but love." Tears welled up in Amara's eyes, her emotions a whirlwind of relief, shock, and love. "Why? Why did you put me through all that?" she whispered. "Because I've been hurt before. I needed to be sure." He paused, his voice cracking. "But you passed every test. You loved me. Even when I had nothing." Amara wiped her tears, understanding the depth of his actions. "Obinna, love isn't about tests, but I'm glad you know how real mine is." A few days later, Obinna took Amara to the very spot where they had shared their first date. With the city lights of Lagos sparkling in the distance, he got down on one knee, holding a beautiful diamond ring. "Amara, you've been my strength, my best friend, my everything. Will you marry me?" Amara's joyful tears fell freely as she whispered, "Yes. 1,000,000 times yes." Their wedding was a simple yet beautiful ceremony filled with love, laughter, and blessings. Through every hardship, they stood together, a bond unbreakable by life's toughest storms. Moral lesson: true love isn't measured by wealth, status, or convenience. It's tested in the fire of hard times, forged through sacrifice, loyalty, and understanding. Stay true, stay loyal, and love with a pure heart, because the right person will always see your worth. Wow, what an incredible journey of love, loyalty, and trust. Did you enjoy this heart-touching story? If you did, don't keep it to yourself. Back in index pointing right, hit the subscribe button to join the Foxy Story family for more amazing tales like this one. Thumbs up, give this video a big thumbs up, Speech Balloon, drop your comments on what you learned, and Loudspeaker, share this story with your friends and loved ones. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss another exciting African tale from Tales by Foxy. Thank you for watching, and see you in our next story. Stay inspired, stay loyal. Movie Camera Tales by Foxy, where stories come alive.